Hello, and welcome to Gus McDoll Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. I'm Nick McDoll. Today we're continuing the Allied Grant campaign in Close Combat A Bridge Too Far, a game based on the Battle of Arnhem, Operation Marketgarden. In this series we use the missions in the Allied Grant campaign to illustrate one or more aspects of World War II infantry tactics at the company level and below. Each episode we conduct basic mission analysis, develop and analyse possible courses of action, then decide and execute the plan in real time, followed by lessons learned. Please remember to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And if you want to buy me a coffee, the links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. In this episode, we're in the Nijmegen sector in the island area of operations. Our objective is the road to Arnhem. It is day 5 of Operation Marketgarden, 0600 hours on 21 September 1944. The island. You're almost there. Use smoke and speed to gain the last objectives and press onto the bridge over the Rhine at Arnhem. The enemy is in a last-ditch defence with strong forces, so be careful but go as fast as you can. Beware of the treacherous polder fields, they cannot support the weight of your vehicles. Let's examine our forces. After yesterday's probe, 30 Corps has provided significant reinforcements to press on to the relief of airborne forces at Arnhem. First, I will supplement the depleted infantry company. Bren teams are the core of the British Army. They use a light machine gun, bolt-action rifles and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a submachine gun. Use them on the front lines, but they should run or hide from tanks. Rifle teams use bolt-action rifles and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a submachine gun. Use rifle teams on the front lines and to hold victory locations. They are useless against tanks. Recon teams are the eyes and ears of the British divisions. They are armed with submachine guns and grenades. Use them to scout enemy positions and to perform behind the lines operations. Next, let's examine support troops and reinforcements. I expect the Germans to throw their remaining reserves into this fight, so I intend to deploy a full troop of 4 medium tanks, along with the Achilles and the mortar. The Sherman 76 is an upgunned M4A1 Sherman. The M4A3 has a 76mm main gun and two 30 caliber machine guns. Use it to destroy light and medium tanks, infantry and enemy strongholds. The Achilles is a medium tank destroyer. It is open-topped and armed with a 3-inch anti-tank gun and a 50 caliber machine gun. Use it in an ambush role against German tanks. Achilles is the British name for the American M10. This Achilles was abandoned but not destroyed during the last battle on this map and has been recovered from the battlefield. 3-inch medium mortar teams also contain bolt-action rifles and hand grenades. Because mortars can shoot over obstacles, position these teams behind buildings or trees. Use them to suppress enemy infantry and lay smoke screens. The Firefly is an upgunned M4A3 Sherman. The Firefly features a 17-pounder main gun and two 30 caliber machine guns. This is the most powerful Allied tank. Use it against anything you see. I will. Next, I want to try out some British-made tanks. The Cromwell is a British tank comparable to the Sherman. The Cromwell features a 6-pounder main gun and two 303 caliber Vickers machine guns. Use it to destroy light or medium tanks, infantry or strongholds. Again, the Shermans and Cromwells will operate in pairs. Next, let's look at the map and do some mission analysis. I will develop a plan and then execute it in the game. Our mission is to clear the Arnhem Road in order to conduct a relief in place of airborne troops at Arnhem Bridge. We have a half-strength British infantry company from 30 Corps consisting of 3 Bren sections, a rifle section and a recon section. In support are 2 Sherman 76, 2 Cromwell medium tanks, an Achilles tank destroyer and a 3-inch medium mortar. North is to the top left of the map. I have marked 5 areas. Number 1, the road to Arnhem. This is a raised road running roughly north-south and bisects the area. It limits observation from one side of the road to the other. It also presents an obstacle to movement as vehicles or people must crest the road, making them easy targets. A ditch runs along the eastern side, which may also slow down movement on and off the road. Number 2, the southeast. Key feature is a clump of buildings near the road, including a 2-story stone building and a wooden mill. This building provides good observation over the polder to the north and fields of fire over the polder and the road. The buildings provide cover and concealment. There is also a dirt path running alongside a ditch which may allow vehicle movement from the polder to the road. Number 3, the northeast. Key feature is a 3-story building named Trapperhaze. This building provides unobstructed observation across the fields and along the road and would make a good anti-tank or machine gun position. Otherwise, there is little or no cover or concealment for attacker or defender. The polder fields may present an obstacle to vehicle movement. Number 4, the Southwest. Key features are the 3-story buildings that provide overwatch on the road and observation and fields of fire to the east of the road. These would make good anti-tank or machine gun positions. Lateral ditches would prove obstacles to vehicle movement, but good concealed avenues of approach for infantry. And number 5, the Northwest. Key feature is the secondary bridge across the ditches. Open fields provide excellent observation and long fields of fire. However, there is little cover or concealment here other than for infantry hiding in ditches. The bridges allow movement to the north off the main road. Key terrain are the buildings either side of the road, and decisive terrain is the road itself, as it is the only avenue of approach to Arnhem Bridge. I assess the enemy will seek to deny use of the road in order to delay 30 Corps from moving towards Arnhem Bridge, and they will bring strong forces to battle. The enemy's most likely course of action is to once again position their forces forward in the mill to the east and the 3-story buildings to the west. The enemy will seek early engagement with the maximum of firepower and try to knock out the British tanks. The enemy's most dangerous course of action is to hang back and engage at maximum range with anti-tank guns and machine guns. They would draw the tanks up the road and the infantry into the polder fields before opening fire, blocking the road and decimating the exposed troops in the open. In planning the previous battle on this map, I had an insight. The road splits the area in two. As the Germans are in defence, they must be prepared for an attack on either or both flanks. So, they will need to split their forces to cover both sides of the road. But because I'm attacking, I have the initiative and can choose whether to place the weight of my attack on the left or the right. This means the majority of my forces will only face around half the enemy at a time. In other words, I will dislocate half the enemy's force. This time, I will also attack on the right flank, for the same reasons as in the previous battle. The 2 pairs of medium tanks will take position in the open ground on the right. This is a strong base of fire to confront any enemy tanks or infantry east of the road. They will also be able to target any enemy tanks crossing the road, and the dirt path means they can move up to the road as required. The infantry will concentrate in the 2-story stone building, which provides cover as well as observation over the fields. In defilade behind the building will be the 3-inch mortar for fire support and the Achilles as my reserve. Over on the left flank, a 3-person recon team will maintain an observation post and keep an eye on the enemy west of the road. The assault echelon will contain both tanks and infantry when infantry may be required to capture all objectives if the tanks are held up by unsuspected obstacles. This will be the most frequent use of the combined arms. I have now moved my troops into position and will execute the plan in real time. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the various courses of action and if you've identified a viable alternative. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And so we begin. A 7.5cm Pak-40 anti-tank gun on the road becomes the first target for the Firefly. Another Pak-40 anti-tank gun is in the 2-story building. Both Shermans fire simultaneously and knock out the anti-tank gun on the road. At the same time, the gun in the 2-story building is overrun. Brooks' Bren team moves forward. On the left flank, the recon team has occupied the wooden building and spotted 2 squads of German infantry in the ditches to the west. The tanks concentrate fire on the MG42 squad. It is quickly destroyed. Another MG42 squad crawls to cover on the west side of the road. There is a Panzerschreck squad in the building across the road. A Panzerfaust is launched at close range. Lassen's Cromwell is knocked out. The culprit was a Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer recon squad in the small wooden building in front of the tanks. Both Shermans concentrate their fire on the building. Kipling's Cromwell fires at the Panzerschreck across the road, and the mortar opens a fire mission. Another Panzerfaust launched, misses. A 17-pounder HE shell from Seal's Firefly ends the fight, and the Aufklärer squad is eliminated. As is the Aufklärer squad in the ditch. German infantry are assaulting from the mill. 2 soldiers in the open are cut down. A Fallschirmjäger heavy machine gun squad. The Panzerschreck team across the road has taken a casualty. Seal's Firefly targets the MG42 in the same 3-story building, and a German sharpshoot sniper has been killed. Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team on the left flank has identified the Germans in the ditches as a Fallschirmjäger Schützen squad. Zimmernick calls in a fire mission. Panzer, west of the road near the 3-story building. It is a Stug 3G. Kipling's Cromwell prepares to engage once it crests the road. The rifle section near the mill takes a casualty. Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team is firing at a Fallschirmjäger reserve squad to their immediate front. The 3-inch mortar brings in its fire to suppress the squad. Corporal Olsen's Bren can't find a target to the west and keeps firing at the Germans in the mill. Another German infantry squad in the open west of the road. The Fallschirmjäger reserve squad is assaulting. The squad takes casualties. Heinz surrenders. He doesn't give a can of beans for this fight. The remaining member of the MG42 squad is routed and retreating. The heavy machine gun squad at the mill has been destroyed. Fire switches back to a Fallschirmjäger reserve squad in the 3-story building. Mortar fire switches back to the Fallschirmjäger Schützen squad in the ditch to the west. Eckelmann from the Fallschirmjäger reserve squad also surrenders. Zimmernick's recon team goes to ground.
Das Blut! In position!
The Stug 3G creeps up the road embankment to its fate. The Firefly targets the Stug. Kipling's Cromwell gets off the first shot. The Firefly misses. The Stug fires and misses. The Cromwell fires and misses. This is tense. Robins's Sherman does not have the shot. Oh no! The Stug knocks out Kipling's Cromwell. The crew bails out under machine gun fire.
Team lost!
They are cut down. Robin's Sherman slowly moves to a better firing position. His view is obstructed by smoke. The Firefly has a shot. Its turret slowly swings around. It misses. The Stug fires back and misses. The Achilles breaks cover and manoeuvres for a flanking shot. Hit! The Firefly hits the Stug, which starts burning. The crew bail out. Seal's Firefly avenges Kipling's crew and eliminates the remaining crew from the Stug 3G. The British tanks now start off west down the dirt path and towards the road. Suddenly, they detect a Sturmgrenadier squad crossing the road. They are trying to get into the three-storey building at Trapper Hayes. These squads include an MG42, and from the three-storey building they will be able to cover the polar fields with machine gun fire all the way to the south. Corporal Abernathy's Bren squad moves forward to take control of the mill. The tanks open a murderous crossfire on the Sturmgrenadier squad. Meanwhile, the left flank has gone quiet. Two German prisoners forlornly wave their arms over their heads in front of Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team. Corporal Olsen's Bren team also moves out towards the mill. The Sturmgrenadier squad at Trapper Hayes is down to half strength.
Completed.
The Cromwell cooks off. Somewhere, a German mortar is shelling the two-storey stone building.
Area secured.
British infantry secure the mill objective.
Move completed.
Time for Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team to get back to work. The two Bren squads are moving from the mill to cross the road and occupy the three-storey building. Sergeant Brooks' Bren section moves up to the mill. The Sturmgrenadier squad at Trapper Hayes is almost destroyed.
Move completed.
There are still German troops in the three-storey house.
Move completed.
The tanks fire back. Grenades are thrown at the Bren sections. The Fallschirmjäger Squad has moved up to the building. This is now the main pocket of German resistance. All fire concentrates on this building. But the British are taking casualties too. A Panzerschreck is still active in the 3-story building. The 3-inch mortar expends the last of its HE ammunition. Meanwhile, the Firefly is ordered to advance to Trapperhaze. The rifle section moves up to the road. The Germans in the 3-story building are under heavy pressure.
Das Blut!
The British begin to assault forward.
Nicht schießen!
The Germans start to surrender.
Herr Oberst! Nicht schießen!
The Panzerschreck.
Nicht schießen!
The Fallschirmjäger. But hand-to-hand combat continues.
Move completed.
Corporal Abernathy races out across open ground, chasing the fleeing MG42 machine gunner.
Nicht schießen!
Abernathy has lost his entire squad.
Nicht schießen!
Move completed.
But he takes his prisoner. Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team pushes forward to the next three-storey house. The tanks are firing up the road at the last remaining member of the Sturmgrenadier squad trying to flee to Arnhem. He is killed. German resistance has almost collapsed, but the battle is not over yet. 30 Corps still needs to clear the road and the polder on either side. The rifle section moves up to the three-storey building to the north. Seal in the Firefly has taken a risk driving across the polder and could get bogged down, but so far he's been lucky. Disraeli in the Achilles has crossed a couple of ditches and is almost at the road. Brooks's Bren section moves up from the mill.
In position.
A Fallschirmjäger Granatwerfer mortar squad is positioned near a bridge to the northwest. They need to be eliminated. Seal's Firefly reaches the dirt track and moves north. Meanwhile, Disraeli's Achilles has hit some mobility issues crossing its third ditch.
Move completed. Move completed.
The British occupy the three-storey house and Sergeant Brooks's Bren section moves on to Trapperhaze. Suddenly, shots ring out. The Granatwerfer are firing at the British infantry with a Sturmgewehr 44 assault rifle. This probably means they're out of mortar ammunition.
Move completed.
The British infantry start out to the ditch to their north. Disraeli's Achilles has made the road and turns north to advance. Robins's Sherman 76 is grappling with mobility issues crossing the final ditch to the road.
Move completed.
Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team now moves west to take the secondary bridge objective, with Corporal Olsen's Bren team in overwatch from the 3-story building. Disraeli's Achilles comes into view and opens up on the Granatwerfer from the road.
Move completed. Area secured.
Sergeant Brooks's Bren section secures the Trapperhaze objective. Corporal Olsen's Bren team targets the Granatwerfer.
Area secured.
Sergeant Zimmernick's recon team secures the secondary bridge objective. They come under fire from the Granatwerfer. Robin's Sherman has made the road and is proceeding north.
Move completed.
It also targets the Granatwerfer squad.
Unter Beschuss!
The squad leader is killed. The others go to ground. The tanks continue to advance north up the road to Arnhem. The battlefield goes quiet. With the ever-present risk of Panzerfausts, the tanks make excruciatingly slow progress.
In position.
Area secured. Move completed.
The honour of capturing the Road to Arnhem objective goes to Corporal Disraeli in the Achilles. It seems fitting somehow. He turns his gun on the remnants of the Granatwerfer squad. Seal's Firefly joins in.
Target eliminated.
The battle ended because all German forces were destroyed. The Allies gained control of the area and the operation is over. The German forces took excessive losses. I made Allied progress of 60 against expected progress of 30 by the end of the day. British forces took 13 KIA and lost 2 Cromwell tanks. German forces took 51 KIA, 4 MIA and lost a Stug 3G and 2 7.5cm Pak 40 anti-tank guns. A Distinguished Service Cross, a Military Cross and 2 Distinguished Conduct Medals were awarded. Let's examine casualties on both sides. First, the British from 30 Corps. Corporal Abernathy led the assault on the 3-storey house despite the loss of his entire squad and is awarded a Distinguished Conduct Medal. Seal's Firefly accounted for the Stug 3G, one of the anti-tank guns, and over 20 enemy soldiers. Trooper Harris is awarded the Distinguished Service Cross and Trooper Norman is awarded the Military Cross. Well done. Sadly, Kipling's crew from the Cromwell were all casualties. Disraeli in the Achilles personally knocked out an anti-tank gun with his 50 caliber machine gun and is awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal. Then the Germans, from the 10th Panzer Division. A Sturmgrenadier squad, 2 MG42 squads, a Fallschirmjäger Schützen squad, 2 Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer squads. Private Jakel knocked out a Cromwell tank with a Panzerfaust and is awarded the War Merit Cross. 2 Fallschirmjäger Reserve squads, a Scharfschütze sniper. Hurst's Stug 3G knocked out the other Cromwell, and Vebahn and Cholitz are both awarded the Assault Badge. 2 7.5cm Pak 40 anti-tank guns, a Fallschirmjäger Heavy Machine Gun squad, a Fallschirmjäger Granatwerfer mortar squad, and a Panzerschreck. Only the Bergmann brothers got away. Their mother will be happy. Otherwise, an entire Kampfgruppe dead, wounded, or captured. So, what did we learn? First, this battle again demonstrated the importance of dislocating the enemy forces. Dislocation means getting the enemy to put the wrong forces in the wrong place at the wrong time. In this case, the bulk of German forces were west of the road. This meant I could use overwhelming firepower to destroy the forces to the east of the road, and then dismantle the rest of the enemy force piece by piece. Had the enemy concentrated all their forces one side of the road or the other, the result may have been different. Second, poor placement of the German anti-tank guns. Both were destroyed in the first minutes of battle without achieving anything at all. But anti-tank guns are long-range weapons and should not have been placed so close to the front. Instead, the Germans should have placed them further to the rear, behind the infantry and within cover. For example, in the 3-storey buildings near Trapperhays and west of the road. From these positions, they would have had cover and good fields of fire at the British tanks and infantry. I could make a similar point about the poor placement and employment of the 3 MG42 squads. Overall, my ability to dislocate the enemy won me the battle, but the enemy's poor placement of their anti-tank and machine guns lost them the battle. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.